Pregame.com.
Redskins at Dolphins. Miami opened up 3.5-point home favorite, total 37.5. Currently sitting at -4 and 37.5. This one's my best bet, but I'm going to take it up a notch, take it a little bit further. I've had 3 straight winning weeks in the NFL. Going to make it 4. I love this week's card, and I'm going with a parlay here for our followers. This is a best bet parlay. You could tease it, you could parlay it, you could do whatever you want with it. Because I got the side and the total, and it's the Washington Redskins and the over. That's correct. Redskins +4, over 37.5. Let me tell you why. Look ahead on this game was Miami -2.5 a week ago at the Hilton. On a neutral field, okay, neutral field, I make Miami, what, half point worse than the Redskins, if not a whole point worse than the Redskins. Now you factor in Miami's home field advantage, which is pretty damn weak, if you ask me. I can't even say they get 3 for home field.
No.
I'll give them 2.5. I'll be generous, and I'll give them 2.5 for home field. So you have a team that's about a point worse. You give them 2.5 for home field. They shouldn't be more than a 1.5-point favorite. I'll say, you know what? People hate Washington now with Beckett quarterback. Throw in that bettor's bias. Let's make Miami 2. You're giving me 4 over that key number on a team that just won their first game. All the pressure's off. I just can't see it. There's absolutely nothing that tells me Miami should be a 4-point favorite over anyone, let alone the Washington Redskins. I think there's a ton of line value here on the side. And I haven't even gotten to the total yet. Let's get there quickly. My true total on this game is 40.5. Okay? I said 41, but you know what? People will tell me I'm crazy. So I'll make it 40.5. Do you know in 16 games between these two teams this year, they played 16 total games. Only one time has a total been below 40 for either of these teams. That's the reason you're seeing the under cash so much. It's been in the 30s. Listen, you have Dolphins 1-7 under. You have the Skins 2-6 to the under. This line has been brought way, way, way down by the odds makers and the bookmakers. And the betting public's going to be all over the under. I love the over in this one. Tell me why I'm wrong.
All right, I'll start off by saying you're more than a half a point. Let me rephrase that. You're less than a half a point away from being crazy. It's a situation. I'm totally against you in this one. And I understand your reasoning. But when you take a look at these two teams, they just don't put up enough points. I get it, but see, and what I meant, and I made a kind of a, just so they're not confused, what I was saying was that their totals all year, 16 games between them, only one time was lower than 40. That was last week against San Fran for Washington. So these two teams have been playing in games where the total's been in the high 40s, low mid 40s. Now you're giving it to me at 37.5. Their lines may have been in the low to mid 40s. Their results have not been in the low to mid 40s.
Right, I'm not saying it wasn't. They weren't right hovering there. I admit.
And as a general handicapping principle, you're hitting it right on. You have two teams that are way under. You want to play it over because you're taking advantage of that. But the way these two teams play, they're not going to throw the ball downfield. They're going to run the ball. Their best parts of their teams are their defenses. And I went back and I looked, and they're not only going under, they're going under a lot. In the last 7 games, Miami's held the opposition to 26 points or less in every contest. The Skins haven't scored more than 28 points in any game this year. That was their opening game with Grossman. And everybody talks how bad Grossman is, and I pointed it out. He's got a winning spread record as a quarterback for the Washington Redskins.
I like Grossman better than Beck, I'll tell you that.
Well, it's easy to say now, but when they made the move, everybody said, oh, no, Grossman, you got to get rid of him. But it's a situation where these teams go into this game to win. They're not going to win in a shootout. They're going to win in a low-scoring defensive field position type of battle. And when you've looked at the final scores in these games, they're scoring in the 30s. They're scoring 37. Neither team is scoring more. And you go look over, let's say, the last 5 games for each team. They're not going over this number. And that was against the Philadelphia Eagles. That was against good offensive teams, the Buffalo Bills. So it's a situation. I fully understand the way you're approaching this, but I think this is probably not the right spot to do it because you've got to take a look at the way this game is going to play out. If you're the head coach of either one of these teams, you don't want it to be depending on your backup quarterback. You got 2 backup quarterbacks in this game.
Right, but Moore's getting used to that offense now. He's looking a lot better than he was in week 1 where he was lost. And when we saw him on Monday Night Football and he had no time to work really with the team. And Shanahan's got to see something in Beck. He's got to have some kind of talent, doesn't he? And, I mean, when your offense is that lackluster for 2 straight weeks, are you really spending any time working on your defense?
The defensive players are.
I get it, but I'm saying, aren't you
Your
really
concern
focusing
is
your energy, your game planning into getting our offensive going? Because it's not like you're the Baltimore Ravens of 2000 whatever that you could just, get me 3 points and we'll win the game. You know what I mean?
Don't you think they've been working on their offense the entire season? They haven't had a good offense all year. So I just don't expect everything to change in one game.
Right. I don't think all of a sudden they're going to look like the New England Patriots, even though the New England Patriots haven't looked like the New England Patriots. They're
looking more like the Washington Redskins.
Exactly. I'm saying I don't expect either of these quarterbacks to look like Rodgers or the Green Bay Packers, but you're talking about a 37.5 now. And what I love the most is how we all know 37 is the biggest number in the NFL. The keyest of all numbers is 37. You could compare it to a 3 or a 7 on the side pretty much, followed by 51. But I love how the bookmakers said, you know what, let's put that half out there too. So they don't even have to go under 37. Let's let them come under 37.5. I don't think they're setting themselves up for failure here.
Yeah, you're playing in Miami. There's going to be good weather. I think they would hurt themselves putting it down that low. Normally, when you're taking a look at games that are priced that low, it's usually in Baltimore, Cleveland, New York, somewhere where
especially in today's NFL.
Bad weather's going to have an effect. Here's something here that talking about the Washington offense. I chart a lot of the stuff on who's going to get the ball. I do a lot of first quarter betting and all that other stuff. But the Washington Redskins have gotten the ball first 5 of their last 8 games. 5 of their 8 games on the season. They've only scored first twice all season. So they're getting the ball first, and they're not scoring. That tells you this team cannot play from behind. So if Miami gets ahead, Washington won't be able to put points on the board to catch up, which is going to hurt.
But I just gave out the Redskins, so Miami won't get ahead.
That's what I'm saying. They won't need to get ahead because it'll be 7-3 at the half, and they'll easily go under. My point is, they're not built to come back. So if Miami takes a 14-0 lead, Washington cannot come back. They have shown it all year long. They don't have the offense to do it. What do you think the Miami Dolphins are going to do if they're winning 14-0? They're going to run the football. They're going to throw short passes.
But why? Now it's all about just having fun and playing the game. You're not going to make the playoffs.
Teams. They want to win.
Desperate. For what? You're going to protect the lead so you could become 2-7 now?
Yes.
I don't think so.
These guys they won last week. They want to continue. I mean,
their total margin right now, Washington has a minus 64.5. They've gone under. 64.5 is their margin from the total, from that 0 that the odds maker puts out.
Right.
Miami's minus 42. You have 2 of the biggest minuses in all of the NFL playing each other.
I fully understand that.
And such a low line. I think that there's just too much value to pass it up. Right. I'm saying correlate that parlay. Washington gets ahead and stays ahead. And Miami, this is going to remind you of back in the day of Air Coryell playing Shula. You're going to think you're watching NFL flashbacks.
Or am I going to have to take
you're going to expect to see David Woodley. You're going to be looking for David Woodley.
David Woodley is playing for both of these teams this week.
Let's do lunch.
Let's base lunch for next week on this game.
On the side or the total?
Oh, I don't care about the side. I want the total.
I love it. Over I'll go over 38. I'm generous. That's how confident I am in this one.
Do I win on 38?
No, you win. I got to go over 38.
I can't pass that up.
I got to go
let
over
you add
38.
a salad to your lunch.
On the way home, you pick up a pizza. The loser buys the other guy's pizza on the Tuesday meeting.
All right.
Now that we found the pizza place.
All right, you're on.
How's that?
Let's do it.
All right, I got the over, and you're getting a double best bet. Skins +4, over. You could go over 40. This one won't matter.
Don't start that.
We'll be back with Brian's NFL play. Great game. Saints. Who are the Saints playing again? The Atlanta Falcons. Don't forget, go to pregamevideos.com. All the videos will be in there. Our notes, you're going to love these. These notes will actually be in that thread. They'll just be a little more legible. We'll be back with his video.